Hi guys, this video is to show you how to glaze and also how to glaze your tile. So everyone should have a tile that looks something like this. All right, you should, when you are glazing, put down a newspaper and have your tile. The other thing things that you are going to need is by the sink, you'll see this coffee Folgers container. It has all kinds of little sponges in it. You're going to need to get a sponge. And you're also going to need your water well and a bunch of different types of brushes, okay? And you can just put your sponge kind of in the water like that. So, first thing you need to do when you are glazing your tile, first thing you need to know is that you're only going to glaze the front. You're not going to glaze the back. So this tile, once it's been glazed, if it had glaze on the bottom and you would put it down, the glaze is basically glass. It's made out of silica. So when it gets really hot, it melts, and so it would melt to the kiln. So you never want to put anything on the back. We're only going to glaze the front. The first step to glazing after you have your supplies is you're going to get it wet. All right, you're going to kind of wipe it off with your sponge. Make sure it's all wiped off. If there's little pieces that can come off, just go like little parts that you can go ahead and just brush those off. Okay, now the second step, you're not going to want to put any glaze on your border. You're not going to put any glaze on your border. That is going to stay this color. But you are probably at your table going to have something that looks like this, a muffin tray with different types of glazes. All right, now these are the different colors of glazes, and they're not like paint. You can't mix red and blue to get purple. All right, we are not going to mix any of these glazes. So if you have you been glazing with blue, all right, and you want to get some yellow, you need to make sure your brush is completely wiped off before you get yellow. Also, these colors are not what they will look like. So once the colors, we're going to fire these things again. So that means we're going to cook it again. And the colors are going to look like this. So right now, this grapple is what it's called, looks kind of like this, kind of a dull purple. It's going to end up being this shiny purple. So if you want to see what the color is going to look like, you can come find it on this color chart. Okay, but the second step now is to get the background and the date highlighted with black. So your black is tuxedo. So you're just going to take a little bit of what's called, see, I can see the names written here. Take a little bit of what's called tuxedo, and I'm only going to paint in the like little creases and the date. So like, for example, the date has a little crease. So I'm just going to kind of paint in there, and I'm going to wipe this off. So it's actually good if you put a little water on it. So just do one little dip in the glaze, then do one dip in the water. Let me show you that. I'm taking one dip in the glaze, and then I'm just doing a little dip in the water, and I'm just kind of getting in all the cracks. So you can see how I'm getting in all the cracks there. All right, it's okay if it's a little bit wet. It doesn't have to be, it starts to get you don't want it to be that thick, but you also don't want it to be that thin. You kind of want it to be in between, where you're just kind of getting in there, okay? Now, once you have gotten in there, all right, you are going to then wipe it off. So you're going to take one of your sponges, and you just want the lines to show up. So see now, if I wipe all this off, then I can see that I just want to see, this person has done a basketball. I just want to be able to see the date. They've done the basketball, but I want to be able to see those words. So now I can kind of see those marks, and I didn't do any right here, because there's no mark. So that's just going to be my pure glaze color. Okay, now once I have that wiped off again, so you put the black glaze on and then you wipe it off a second time, then you're ready to choose your colors. I would suggest that you choose some complementary colors so that there are opposite on the color wheel, like red and green or orange and blue. Or if you did a team, you know that they're already complementary colors. So again, do not paint the border. Do not paint the border. Also, I don't want any pure white or pure black backgrounds. You can use a little bit of black or a little bit of white here and there, but we don't want things to be pure black or pure white background. So this is a Warriors thing, and I know I'm going to use the orange for the baseball. So I think a complementary color of orange is blue. So I look here, I'm going to get this sort of light blue, and I'm going to paint 3 coats, okay? This is very important. If you just do one coat of blue, then it will not show up. Again, I'm not going to the border. I'm going to paint 3 coats of this background blue. Okay, so I've got my one coat here. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to paint another coat, and then I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to paint another coat, and then I'll be done. Okay, it dries actually pretty fast. All right, so that's my one coat of blue. Now, in order to get another color, if I want to use the same brush, I need to rinse it out because you don't want to mix it. I know I want my basketball to be orange, so I'm going to take a little bit of the orange, and I'm going to get in there with the basketball. Now, there might be a little bit of an issue here once you start getting in there. You might not be able to see your black lines. If that happens, I have a little special little painter that you can use that you can put those lines back in. Okay? So we're not going to paint anything of the date either. We're just going to keep that how it is. Maybe I'll put the little yellow in the background here. All right? Again, I'm going to wait till this dries, and I'm going to paint this 3 times. If I just do it like this, it's not going to look good. All right, once I am done with this last step, all right, and I've done it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, I'm going to give you a special clear glaze, and you are going to paint the clear glaze on top of everything. That's just going to make it really shiny. You just need about 1, maybe 2 coats of the clear glaze. You don't necessarily need 3. And it's going to kind of cover up. Everything's going to look kind of white after you put the clear glaze on it. But it won't look that way once it's been fired. Once it's been fired, you'll see just these colors really brightly shine through. Okay, so step 1, make sure you have your supplies. Step 2, wipe it down with a sponge. Step 3, put a little bit of watery black in the lines. Step 4, do 3 coats of the colors that you want. And step 5, we want to cover it with a clear coat. Good luck.